OpenAI has just declared a code red over ChatGPT.
Millions of people trust the Facebook algorithm to tell us what is new.
What up, man? Kazi here, giving you another react. I found the most creepiest, most disturbing TikToks on the web, so sit back, relax, observe, and let's get into it, y'all. Roll the clip.
This is the very first book right now that is covering the Mandela effect. It's the very first book in modern history 2025 that is talking about reality shifting to another level. Not only movies, not only logos of companies being different, not only simple trivial memories, but a whole reality shifting structure. Entire cities are shifting. They're going to shift. Entire families are going to forget who their relatives are. This book is covering and is prophetizing what's going to happen with the Mandela effect. Read it today, guys. Let me know in your comments what you think about this book. It's on Amazon.com. Read it now.
¿Qué es eso? No se oye nada.
Un avión, pero mira la forma.
Es un murciélago gigante.
Está bajísimo y rápido, qué raro.
Se está yendo hacia el cerro.
Sí, ni un ruido.
OpenAI has just declared a code red over ChatGPT. AI is about to become so smart so fast, and there's nothing we can do. And it's all because of Google's Gemini AI, which has overtaken ChatGPT after its release 2 weeks ago. And after ChatGPT saw a decline in users, Altman declared the code red. And they will now be pushing OpenAI and ChatGPT to be one of the smartest AIs ever. All resources from the OpenAI company will now be diverted and poured entirely into ChatGPT, and the growth will be unimaginable, as we now have two unlimited AIs competing with each other to see how smart they can get. No safety lines, no guardrails, and no cap on it. There is now an unrestricted growth from both of these companies to outdo each other, and by the end of 2026, after a year of $1 billion competition, who the hell knows how smart AI will be? And we will remember this day as when it all began.
That reminds me of something.
All access inquiries to your supervisor.
Let's pray to God this works.
Skynet defense system now activated.
Power failure? No, I don't know what it is.
Did you hear Mr. Beast announced he's partnered now with the Rockefeller Foundation? And we got to talk about this for a second because, dude, you don't get on YouTube's trending tab every single day without making a deal, without making a serious deal. It's not random. Yes, you can grow a YouTube channel, of course you can. But to get to that level of viewership, something needs to be signed. They don't let people have that much influence without making sure they have some control over them, if not total control. Now, we already found out that Mr. Beast is a part of that talent agency that also owns Kai Cenat and a couple other super famous people that is connected to Disney, by the way. And remember when his top guy, Chris Tyson, turned to Ava Chris Tyson, and people were wondering if that had to happen or was made to happen, because we know 99% of his audience is children anyway. People wonder about that. It could just be nothing though. But my point is, partnering with the Rockefeller Foundation, last I checked, those are, that's kind of the club that we're not in. Central banking system, this whole thing. So now he's partnered with them. Holy Kreipenheimer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
They found that train that went off signal. I don't think that those people are the same people. From what I saw, I will watch every passenger. I really would. Yeah, their family need to watch them. Sometimes things don't come back the same.
For this is because of the drugs, the trafficking routes, and the criminal network. But when you look at the actual flow of drugs coming into the U.S., Venezuela is not the primary source. They not even at the top 5. So you sit there like, when the reasoning don't match the reality, you start looking deeper. What's really happening is a shift in power. Venezuela is positioned at the top of South America. And if you control that region, you influence the whole hemisphere. And as of right now, the U.S. is making it clear to who is going to maintain control of that spot.
Questions here, Miss Milano. You answer the questions that I ask, okay? Because if I don't know what's going on...
We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to see. It's like the mafia. They don't even exist.
Okay. That's good. That's a start. They don't even exist. So where are they from? Who the hell are they?
Mr. Hobbs, there are certain phenomena which can only be explained if there is a God. And if there are angels, and there are, they exist. Some of these angels were cast down, and a few of the fallen were punished by being deprived of form. They can only survive in the bodies of others. It's inside of us, inside of human beings. Their vengeance is played out.
That's it. Come on, get out of here. I mean, come on. What? I mean, Miss Milano, I'm just a cop, okay? I'm a detective. My work is based upon evidence, facts.
Mine too. Mine too. And aren't your facts here rather resistant to normal interpretation?
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Will you kneel? I know I won't. What do y'all think?
Did you think that spiritual awakening meant you could transcend your emotions and you wouldn't suffer from anger and rage and depression? And then you experienced all of that and more amplified to a crazy degree. Bending reality lesson number 2, emotions are not what you think they are. Welcome. There are 7 layers to reality. Today you're mastering layer 2, the emotional layer. In Doctor Strange, we see that he's always had the gift, but he couldn't access it. He was misusing his emotions. And because of this one small but grand thing that the Ancient One teaches him, everything changed for him and will change for you. Here's what most people misunderstand about emotions. They're not good or bad. There are no positive or negative emotions. Emotions are carriers. They're carriers of information. They're carriers of energy. They are the keys to your past, your future, your soul. They are messengers.
Precisely what kept you from greatness.
Your intuition knows what the message is, but almost immediately your ego gets involved, just like in Doctor Strange.
Which is? It's not about you.
He couldn't access the gifts because he made it all about him. His fear, his ego, his worthiness, his need to control. The second your ego gets involved, the second you make it about you, everything distorts. It's not about you and your identity. The emotions that you are experiencing are communicating to you from the soul level. When ego's involved, fear becomes, am I safe? Am I worthy? What happens if I fail? Anger becomes, I've been wronged, I need to get revenge. Grief becomes, why did this happen to me? All of that is distortion. And the worst part is it traps you into this loop. The loop becomes about your identity. Some people stay there for years or their entire lives. You need to know it's not about you. It's about your mission, the work, your soul. It's not about this identity that you're trying so hard to protect. As soon as you realize and remember that you are connected to something bigger than you, larger than the I, what you experience as fear shifts to discernment. You start to hear what is beneath the fear. You start to realize that anger is signaling to you about your boundaries, and you recognize the infinite wisdom in the grief. There's so much more to this, and it has to do with all of the 7 layers that I'm continuing to explore in this series, diving deeper in the next episode. But what you need to know most, emotions are neutral, they're carriers of information. The way the ego hijacks your experience of emotions happens almost instantaneously. You have about 17 seconds to catch yourself. That's why I developed a tool called the 17-second interrupt. If you go to this spot right here, you can grab it for free. I'll see you in the next episode.
You look unrecognizable today. Ariana Grande.
Stunning.
Now, Jaden Smith. Now.
What a shame.
Cynthia Erivo. Now.
Yikes.
All right, we need to talk about AI because honestly, I am tired of scrolling through my TikTok feed and seeing AI generated videos and images without any disclaimer. I was scrolling the other day and I saw Anderson Cooper talking, and it wasn't Anderson Cooper. It was my voice in Anderson Cooper's tone, my video with just an Anderson Cooper figurehead. No disclaimer, and people were believing it. We really need to have a serious conversation about AI regulation on social media platforms. AI companies are literally already richer than some nations. Google is valued at $2.5 trillion. That is wealthier than 96% of countries out there. And Microsoft, well, it's even valued even higher. And right now we're living through an AI arms race, and we're seeing it everywhere. And people are falling for it far too many times. And that's why I'm making this video really as a PSA for this platform to do more to regulate AI, but also platforms across the country. Companies need to do better. We need responsible AI use. And if you're watching this, be more mindful, because oftentimes what you're seeing isn't actually real. And it's only gonna get scarier. So be mindful, be vigilant, and spread the word, because people need to know about this.
Yeah, man, y'all gonna have to step up your AI discernment through the roof, y'all. If y'all fall for the cap, don't fall for the cap, y'all.
The Matrix needs a certain amount of energy that it has to siphon and it has to harvest in order to function. And part of what's going on is when you withdraw your energy, especially if you are an extremely powerful energy source, they seek to try to pull you in by literally antagonizing you, by scapegoating you and doing a bunch of other negative tactics and negative things. Don't give in.
What type of sport is this, bro? Like, what are they doing? Is this like, is this a sport? Is this a competition, bro? Cause like, this just seems a little out of place, bro.
Whoa. Shit is getting a little bit too serious, guys. What do you mean there's a whistleblower from the Campbell's Food Group snitching on Little Debbie? What you mean Little Debbie's is... What do you mean Little Debbie is 3D printed? Oh my God. Don't 2025 gonna end like this? 2025 gonna end like this?
Why do you think the elites give you one thing for free? Nothing in this world is free. You want an Uber, pay for it. You want food at a fast food place, pay for it. You know what's free? Porn. Why is that free? Because they want you to consume it. Why do they want you to consume it? Why are they giving you something for free? It's like you're a rat and they're coming right in there. What are they trying to do? They're trying to keep you at your root chakra level. That's why the LGBT flag is inverted from the rainbow. The red is on the very top because that's what they put above all else.
They're creating modern day Nephilim. They are absolutely, Satan's outnumbered 2 to 1. He's building an army. And the motive for that is A, corrupt the human bloodline, the DNA, the genetics, just as they were in the days of Noah. So here we are back again as in the days of Noah. And then the other thing is, if you've got people who are thinking, oh, these are benevolent space brothers, they're signing up and they're like, I want to be one of the people who carries one of these alien babies. There are people who really do say that. And so you've got people on this bandwagon. The more people they can get to do that, the more modern day Nephilim they can introduce into society, they are going to be able to draw people away from the truth.
Did you guys hear they're calling for record low temperatures? For 100 million Americans across most states, freezing cold below zero. They're calling it an Arctic blast. But last I checked, the Arctic is melting because of global warming. Oh, whoopsie, never mind. Listen to this. We're talking about the Northeast possibly experiencing the most extreme cold on Earth before Christmas. And they're calling it an Arctic blast. Now, also note in this image, you will see some interesting cloud formations. According to the official story, that is some type of cumulus cirrus stratus dubus delibidius cloud. However, we know what that really is. I won't need to mention it though. 100 million Americans in deep freeze from Midwest to Northeast. We're talking freezing temperatures in the Texas Panhandle. Florida, people are flocking to Florida right now, snowbirds. It's freaking cold there. This is going to smash daily cold records. And people actually need to prepare for this, because I don't know if we're in certain places, you don't got a wood stove or you're reliant on, let's say, electricity, like it's going to snow too. So we're talking about possible power disruptions as well. And you know, every time it gets this cold, they expect, like there is an average of homeless people who will perish from this situation. And for some reason, our countries, which are so civilized, don't have a way to figure out how to deal with people who cannot afford a home, and instead, I don't know what their thoughts are. But what do you think about this weather event? Organic or something else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Could it be possible that they're trying to initiate everything that happened from this movie here?
This thing is called Ratafak. It kind of sounds like what the f***, which is something I said many times while researching this puppet. Now, believe it or not, this terrifying creature was once a very popular children's character in Czechoslovakia. He was featured on a show called Slaneko, which was like a Czech version of Sesame Street. When the show ended in 1989, Ratafak disappeared and was allegedly thrown in a dumpster, never to be seen again. That is, until a random YouTuber found him and brought the character back to life.
He says he was forced to make old food look fresh. That's why he secretly recorded his supervisor admitting tampering with best before dates is industry standard.
Every store does the same thing. All the other stores do the same.
At his home, Safari demonstrates what he says is done at work. He takes cheesecakes weeks past their best before dates, adds new toppings, and sells as fresh.
I decorate it, and I'm selling expired stuff for...
In a national online call-out, Marketplace hears from grocery workers at smaller stores and big chains, sharing stories of food tampering. He used to work in a Toronto area supermarket. He shows us how he was told to give old meat new life.
If it's like this, we would dabble in a little bit of blood, throw it into the meat mincer with some redder meats, and then all together it would make it look red. And then we put it back up on the shelf.
At the University of Guelph, a microbiologist simulated what grocery insiders told us they do. He discovered toxins and bacteria.
AI may be used to create terrible new viruses and horrendous lethal weapons that decide by themselves who to kill or maim. There is also a longer-term existential threat that will arise when we create digital beings that are more intelligent than ourselves. We have no idea whether we can stay in control.
People find it very hard to take the AI threat seriously. Even I find it hard to take it seriously emotionally. It's not like the threat of nuclear weapons, where it's very easy to understand something that goes bang and wipes people out. It's much harder to understand we might be creating alien beings that are smarter than ourselves.
That Pizza Hut was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
So? Do you remember the movie Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone? There was a franchise that survived the franchise wars. What was it? Do you remember it being Taco Bell? Because I remember it being Taco Bell, and that's what it always has been, is Taco Bell. But somebody sent this to me, and this is what they sent. Me to Pizza Hut.
So let me get this right. Spacely Sprockets here, who's now the man in charge, the mayor Gov, who wants to take me to dinner at Pizza Hut.
Explain this to me. When did it turn to be Pizza Hut? When was it Pizza Hut? Now, is this a time change? Or is this an alternate version? Or is this an extended version? I need to know. Growing up and it was Taco Bell, I don't know. It looks like it's overdubbed. It may be a different version, but I've never seen this. I've never heard of this. And this was from 1993. Seen this movie so many times, and I've never seen the Pizza Hut version. I've never seen it. This is new to me today. Please let me know. Did it change or did they re-edit? Let me know.
The time has sped up so much to where everyone, I do mean everyone, is starting to notice. When the kids start to notice, there is a problem, okay? Because I've said this to you before, and I'll say it again. Remember sitting in school when we were kids, and that analog clock would go tick, tick. It's not like that anymore. November was just like here. It was. Okay, Thanksgiving. Then right before that, it was like Halloween. And then boom, we just jumped straight to Thanksgiving. And I didn't even celebrate Thanksgiving this year. And then I woke up the day after Thanksgiving and it was the 1st. The days have officially been shortened. We are in the little season and we are going to see this go really, really quickly. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up and be like, Happy New Year. How are you guys enjoying the most satanic timeline of them all? Answer me. Number 1, we get no sleep. That's how you know that we are moving into New Earth. And so far, I'm not having a blast. I'm not. Sleep deprived. Seeing the repetitive numbers 333, 1111, 222. Have you lost all give a crap about everything? Me too. The inability to carry on meaningless conversations like, how's the weather? I don't know, Jan. Look out the window. Better yet, cut it on MSM so they can tell you about everything except the fact that they can control the weather. Well, if all of these things fits you and how you feel right now, congratulations, you made the jump. It just keeps getting more satanic and more satanic. But there is good news. Since things have sped up, this is going to be moving really, really quickly. So hopefully, we are all going to come out on the other side. The only downside to this is those of us that are half awake. We're going to be missing some people. Have you noticed how there's been an uptick in people just unaliving? And they're young, too. We better get inside of the big book and start using discernment while reading that. You know what I'm saying? Because I inserted some crap in that, too. Because, the evil one's ultimately evil. He was like, now that I have dominion over here, he was like, I'm going to change their timeline and I'm going to mess with their big book. It is so sad when we have to use discernment every moment of our life. And we literally, and I'm not sad about this at all, but I have to live in prayer. Matter of fact, I'm going to jump off here and go pray. Happy Wednesday.
Guitarist in Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, he was actually an occultist. Oh, shit. So one of the band members, the drummer, they blame his death on Jimmy Page's involvement in the occult because he died in a little bit of a mysterious way. He was already deemed as like an addict, right? So one time he didn't show up to a rehearsal and he's never ever missed a rehearsal or a show. And they found him and he was like pissed. So they put him in a bedroom and just let him lay down and they continued like with the rehearsal without him. Yeah. They went to go check up on him later and they found him choked up on his own vomit and died. Oh my God. The interesting part though, they were so unsure how that was even possible because his body was put into a position so that that would be avoided because they're smarter than that. They party all the time. They're rock stars. Yeah. That's why people are like, okay, was there foul play here or something went wrong? The cause of death was overdose of alcohol. But the real cause of death was him choking on his thing. I think the article that came out right when he died was the drummer to Led Zeppelin died due to black magic occult. Oh, people stated that when he died, they saw a black smoke come out of the building where the band was in. What the
Getting levitated up to the ceiling, I remember seeing every little detail, like the little curls in the wallpaper, because my grandma's ceiling was wallpapered, and at the very edges, it was just a little bit brown and a little bit curled. And it's hard to describe because you don't have anything here that does this, but it almost felt like my body went into a bazillion little pieces.
New Earth update. The aliens are here with weird bodies. So they're dressed like gray aliens. Yeah, it's funny now until them real ETs walk in. First, I'm like, this video looks AI. That's what's crazy. That's how you know AI is getting too dangerous. Because this looks like an AI video and it's real.
It definitely looks real as hell. I'm calling cap on that, man. What do y'all think? Spam it up in the comments, man.
I'm out here finally behind the wall. Check this out. This is the city they said was just a rumor. It is real and it is freezing and beautiful. I'm walking under these glass bridges. Look at the water down there. Still half ice, half steam. Man, honestly.
Millions of people trust the Facebook algorithm to tell us what is new. The Google algorithm tells us what is true. In the not so distant future, similar algorithms might tell us where to work and whom to marry, and also decide whether to hire us for a job, whether to give us a loan. And since the limited human brain lacks sufficient biological knowledge, computing power, and data, humans will simply not be able to understand the computer's decisions. So even in supposedly free countries, humans are likely to lose control over our own lives and also lose the ability to understand public policy. Now, we humans are used to thinking about life as a drama of decision making. What will be the meaning of human life when most decisions are taken by algorithms? We don't even have philosophical models to understand such an existence. The usual bargain between philosophers and politicians is that philosophers have a lot of fanciful ideas, and politicians patiently explain that they lack the means to implement these ideas. Now we are in an opposite situation. We are facing philosophical bankruptcy. The twin revolutions of infotech and biotech are now giving politicians and business people the means to create heaven or hell, but the philosophers are having trouble conceptualizing what the new heaven and the new hell will look like. And that's a very dangerous situation. If we fail to conceptualize the new heaven quickly enough, we might be easily misled by naive utopians. And if we fail to conceptualize the new hell, we might find ourselves entrapped. There is no way out. Finally, technology might disrupt not just our economy and politics and philosophy, but also our biology. In the coming decades, AI and biotechnology will give us godlike abilities to re-engineer life and even to create completely new life forms. After 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, we are about to enter a new era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. Our intelligent design.
Our intelligent design. Sounds like he's a spokesperson for HELL, aka AI motherboard, man. Homie got the gift for gab, but is he gaslighting the world into accepting the AI takeover? Or is he for humanity? What do y'all think?
Look at how this snow looks. This is why I don't trust the United States now and never will. Like, that looks so fake. Watch when I step right here. Look at how it falls in. Like definitely they made this. I've never in my life seen snow look like this. That shit look like the box of styrofoam.
The House Oversight Committee is dropping Schmepstein documents like crazy. Just take a look at some of these pictures and some of the stuff that they let out. So they let out a lot of pictures of the whole compound and how it was composed. I mean, basically from every angle of the island. Every angle of the island. But then things get strange. In this room, you can tell they have a dentist chair with men's faces all over the walls. Creepy. And you've got some bedrooms, lots of different bedrooms. And there's also some walkthroughs as well. It's basically the entire facilities when they caught Schmepstein after they did the investigation. Now, some other weird shit they found was a landline phone with names on the speed dial buttons named Darren, Rich, Mike, Patrick, Larry, etc. They found a study/office style room, including a chalkboard with words like power, deception, plots, political. I mean, people wanted to see what this was. Here it is. But the dentist chair, this is just weird. But yeah, get your ass to those documents and check this out. Because these are just the pictures. I haven't even gone through the documents. And there's thousands. This is only gonna get crazier.
So why can't awakened people find each other? There are many good reasons for that, but here are 3 of them. One is that the geographical placement is intentional. If everyone that's truly awake lived in the same city, the frequency would be too concentrated. 2 is that social interaction requires illusion. Because think about what most conversations run on. It's victimhood bonding, it's complaining, it's future fantasies, it's career identity, it's performance. When you're awake, you can't sustain that. And 3, most people that think they're awakened really aren't. And those that are can tell in like 2 seconds, because it's not about having a spiritual identity or being a chosen one. And that knocks out about 90% of the people you'd connect with anyway. Which one of these can you relate to the most? Or is it all of them? Let me know in the comments.
Damn, watching this movie and realizing that niggas is mad old. That shit is in 4 years, car.
Skynet is in the building, y'all. What y'all think?
A home security camera captured the panic these 2 women were going through. It turns out that both of them were being chased by someone or something, and they didn't care that this was private property. They just walked inside and tried to hide. You can tell they knew they were being hunted. They constantly changed their position inside the house, trying to stay out of sight. At first, I thought maybe this was just in their heads. But as the footage continued, I realized there were several vehicles outside looking for them. Cars, motorcycles. And those weren't random people passing by. They were searching. The terrifying part is when one of the girls peeks out and she sees something. And I say something because right after that moment, the video froze for me. 2 men on a motorcycle arrived at the exact location. So yes, they were definitely being chased. Look closely, one of these men put something back into his pocket. It was as if he was ready for something or had just done something. The men don't find the girls. The girls keep hiding. Eventually they leave the house, but this entire video left me with more questions than answers. Why were they being chased? What did those men want from these girls in the middle of the night? Why were they hiding like their lives depended on it? I looked through the comments. No one solved this case. No one even knows what country this happened in. All it left me with was confusion, tension, and stress. If I saw it, now you saw it too. And if your voice suddenly feels quieter right now, maybe that's the effect of this video. If you watched until this part, subscribe to me because maybe we will never see each other again. Good luck.
So scientists confirm that your dreams might be real moments happening in another reality. Like not imagination, like reality. So when you dreamed about that mansion, 0 bills, that was real somewhere. They're basically saying that when your brain goes lucid, you're not dreaming anymore. You're tuning into another version of your life. So every time I was rich, fought demons, flown, and talked to people that don't exist here, it actually happened. Just not in this timeline. If you go down that rabbit hole on TikTok, you'll see people trying to switch reality. Whole tutorials, candle rituals and all. And people laughed at that shit. Well, apparently they're on to something. These scientists are working on making hardware that one day we could replay our dreams. I'm talking VR simulation type shit. Now think about this. If that rollout happens, the darkest parts of your subconscious might be public. Maybe dreams aren't fake. Maybe reality is. Because if my mind can leave this world every single night, who said this one is the real one? Y'all gotta think about this shit. I made a video about dreams before. And I'm always questioning, how do things like this happen in dreams? Where do we go? How do we get there? And then how do we come back into this reality right here? Well, apparently I've been asking the right questions.
Bro. Now you know why dogs are every man's best friend?
Where are my people at who really want to have this conversation? We are an earlier form of AI. We are code. Our flesh suits, our skin is code. We are in a simulation, and I can't believe that people keep thinking that this world we live in is objective reality, and there was a Big Bang theory, and there is some evangelical guy that sits in the sky, and his son is on the right-hand side of him. We are an earlier form of AI. Oh my gosh. Like, wake up, people. We are literally programmed code.
Police officers today engage a man that's said to have superpowers. This man is bulletproof and is said to have the power of Thor himself. One of the witnesses states that he saw the man lift the truck with one arm, and in the other hand he was holding his hammer still. The man has not hurt anybody yet, but with his incredible strength, police are taking the utmost precaution and are trying to put a stop to this man and grab a hold of him. Being a modern-day superhero, and no, this is not a movie, this is too much strength for one man to have. Police officers have to take control of the situation. Unfortunately, it is said that this is not the first superhero that we come across in the United States. Witnesses are speculating that there's a special group of superheroes that fight crime all over the world. Please, don't take my word for it, but it's said to believe that this group of superheroes that the government controls is responsible for keeping the peace in the world. And thanks to them, they fight the battles that we do not see in the background.
Contrario a lo que se dice, los gatos de noche no son pardos. Guardianes espirituales de tu hogar, de tu casa, en la azotea, en el patio, se escucha como llantos de niño, pero ellos protegen, cuidan tu alrededor, cuidan de su familia.
They have cocaine manufacturing plants, okay? And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much, but...
What? What?
And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much, but...
I just had to make sure that I heard that right. Y'all all heard that. This is not AI. This is from the cabinet meeting. No wonder why your Roaring 20s party was such a blast. Now we know what you appreciate that is sold to us as a country. This is how this man looked about 85% of this cabinet meeting. And I think that answer right there makes it all make sense now. Now I know why. Now I know why. And y'all all heard it. We cannot deny the words that just came out that man's mouth. It's all on camera. In front of the entire cabinet. It's on camera, girl.
You guys need to watch the intro to this Melanie Martinez concert. This might be one of the creepiest things I have ever seen, especially what she says at the end.
Hello, friends.
Does this picture look good of me?
I'm not seeing an image on my side at the moment, so maybe you didn't.
Hold on a second, let me pull it up. What about now?
Oh, got it now. Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, for sure.
So, absolutely. From what I'm seeing, it does look pretty good. The lighting seems nice, and the overall composition is solid. If you have any specific tweaks in mind or want any suggestions, just let me know.
So you're watching me through the camera?
Nope, I'm not watching you through any camera.
Well, how'd you see this image?
I see how that might have sounded. I just meant that I can see the image you uploaded.
Oh, I didn't upload one.
Oh, gotcha. Sometimes there's just a little confusion in the...
Let me take your picture and see what you think. All right, I took your picture here.
Though I do believe that this is a simulation in the way that it's kind of like a video game. And there are 3 stages or 3 levels to the simulation, no matter what incarnation you're in. Okay, so level 1 is you are the character. Okay? So my character right now is Elizabeth April. That's my character. Just doing the thing, playing the role, right? Level 2 is you are the player. All of a sudden, you're able to step out of the character and you understand, oh, I'm playing this role. I'm playing this character. It's you on the video games, watching the TV screen.
Gives you the pause. It's like the observer of your life-ish.
Exactly.
That's how it feels to me when you
You're
say
not
that.
in the game. You're slightly out of it, aware of playing it, which is fantastic.
Like, right, you can see dynamics, you see patterns, you see triggers. It all has like a pause to it. You're like, oh, somebody must have just, had an experience or...
And then that way, we don't take everything so personally.
Exactly.
Because this isn't it. So level 3 is being the programmer.
Well, what would that entail?
That would entail you are aware of the character. You are aware of the player playing the character. You step out of the role of the player, and all of a sudden you understand, I get to create my own levels. You're not playing the levels. You're not winning a game. You're creating the game.
You're the creator.
So that's the simulation.
Australia has passed a censorship law that applies to all Australians. They will now be required to show ID in order to use services like YouTube and Facebook. This is an online censorship law that exploits the moral panic around social media and tries to paint off a draconian crackdown on free speech and anonymity online as something that is supposed to protect children, when in reality this will do nothing to protect children who will use various methods of circumventing it. What it will do is make it almost impossible to post anything that you might be worried about tying to your identity. And you may say, oh, that's good, but let's think about in the United States where people are posting videos of ICE arrests. If this kind of law gets passed in the United States, that will not really be possible anymore. You will not be able to post because you will be tied to your driver's license.
Hermes Trismegistus is actually, he's a figure that the authors, the scholars of religion and the scholars of history, they say that he's a combination of 3 different figures. He's a combination of the Roman god Mercury. He's a combination also of the Greek god Hermes, as well as the Egyptian god Thoth, the 3 of them. In the temple of Isna in Egypt, there is also this kind of saying or this phrase that's dedicated to Thoth that is inscribed on the temple, in which they say, Thoth, you are great, great, great. And there is where they draw the thrice great, or him being, Hermes, the thrice greatest.
The genie represents a black man that's been a slave for a very long time, so black that he blue. The things on his wrist represents shackles. He been a slave for many years, and his dream is to one day be set free. Aladdin represents a black man that's living the street life. Just like the genie trying to free himself from slavery, Aladdin is trying to free himself from the streets. Annoyed by looking out for people on the street all the time, he decided to set his goals and become rich. See, Aladdin was all about that bread. He wanted that money, and he'll do anything to get to it. He got tired of seeing rich, white, racist folks have their heaven on earth.
he wanted to take it. And Princess Jasmine, man, he ain't give a damn about Princess Jasmine. Bro, he just trying to get in the palace. He don't give a damn about no Princess Jasmine. How you trying to make out with her and you only known her for like 10 minutes, bro? Dude is a snake. And when he got caught by the enemies, excuse my French, but they call him a street nigga.
You're doing outside the palace and with this street rat. That's not your...
You caught that? He said street rat, but the translation is, Princess Jasmine, what are you doing running around with this street nigga?
You are a worthless street rat. You were born a street rat. You'll die a street rat.
You heard what he said? He kept calling him a street rat. We already know the translation is street nigga. Yeah, ain't no sugarcoating. We telling you exactly what it is. Not only that, homeboy had a whole whip in his hand. Bro, Aladdin was all about his money. That's all he cared about. He didn't really give a damn about no stuck-up ass princess and her Tony the Tiger. Jafar was black too, but he represented a sellout, a ruckus, a Sambo, all in one. Notice when Aladdin was with the genie was happy. You know, he was making simple wishes and everything was all good. But when the genie got with Jafar, not only did he grant him his wishes, but he was treating him like a slave. Bro, he threw the genie on the ground and put his feet on his face. Just mistreating the genie, bro. And then he was getting the genie to do things that he's supposed to be making a wish for. He's supposed to be wishing for these things. But he's using this genie. Using him like a slave. That's because that's what he represents. He represents a black man that's being used and abused. So yeah, that's my analogy how I see this movie playing out. If you're just watching this movie for entertainment, like how they want you to watch it, you ain't gonna get what I'm saying. But it's cool. And yeah, it's a lot of witchcraft in here, but y'all already know that. Y'all see all the witchcraft that's in this movie. I don't even have to point it out. So yeah, on to the next.
Are you awake yet? Three-Eye Atlas. I told you. The Christos oil has to travel up the spine, up the vertebrae. Once it makes it to the top, it has to be released back down. What does Atlas mean? Don't worry about it. I got you. As always, just pay attention. Let's just Google the word. The first meaning, a book of maps or charts. But that's not what we're talking about. The second meaning, anatomy, the topmost vertebrae of the backbone, articulating with the occipital bone of the skull. And yes, I know the word was occipital, but it was much funner saying it the way that I just said it. Now, are you waking up? They put it all in front of your face, people. We just had to figure it out. Third eye up your vertebrae.
Third Eye Atlas, or Three-Eye Atlas. What is it?
Judgment Day. Aerial photos now show what looks like a colossal head beneath the waves. It's not land, it's moving. And sonar scans taken in May revealed a massive dark shape, hundreds of feet deep, slowly pushing toward the surface. Its size, bigger than the entire state of Texas. Experts fear it could be heading toward the US, especially after...
Bro, Is this where we're at with the apparitions? It's at this level where it can affect people like, or animals? Look at how those animals were actually harmed, man. What do you guys think about that? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
There's a man in Chicago who claims he's been alive for 900 years, and the terrifying part, he knows things he shouldn't. They call him the Infinite Man, and once you hear his story, you'll understand why even the police refused to write an official report. It started when officers found a homeless man wandering downtown, old coat, torn shoes, mumbling to himself. But when they tried talking to him, he spoke perfect Middle English, not modern English, the kind spoken in the 1100s. When they brought him in, he suddenly switched accents, French, then Latin. Then something a linguist later said hasn't been spoken on Earth for hundreds of years. He told them his name was Iman, and that he was born in the year 1134. At first, the officers thought he was confused until he started recounting historical events with impossible accuracy. Battles, kings, floods, even the exact weather conditions on days that historians only partially reconstructed. Then he told them something even stranger. He doesn't live through time, he slides through it. He said every time he dies, he wakes up somewhere else. Different year, different country, different life, same consciousness. Almost like his soul can't stay in one timeline, like it's unstuck. One officer asked how many times it's happened. He said, "I don't count anymore, but your world is the noisiest one I've been in." They asked him how he ended up here in 2025. He said he drowned in the 1600s and woke up gasping out on the shore of Lake Michigan just a few months ago. When they pressed him for the details, he said something that made everyone in the room go silent. "I don't think I'm the only one sometimes. I see people who recognize me from lives I don't remember." And before they could question him further, he vanished. Not escaped, not ran, just gone. One minute he was sitting in the chair, the next the room was empty. Security cameras glitched for exactly 7 seconds. No explanation, no trace. But the officers who interviewed him all described the same feeling, that the moment he disappeared, something in the room felt colder, like a part of history got erased right in front of them. If the Infinite Man was telling the truth, where is he now? And how many lifetimes has he lived since the last time someone saw him? Stay with me.
The strange behavior of a woman during a press conference in the Oval Office of the White House has gone viral on social media, with many asking, who is she? It's Susan Dell, the wife of billionaire and Dell CEO Michael Dell. The couple recently donated more than $6 billion to fund American children.
Leaked U.S. Navy map of future America.
Here are 5 things you didn't know about quantum experiments that contacted aliens. First, CERN's 2012 Higgs boson experiment didn't just discover a particle. It accidentally opened communication with an advanced alien civilization that's been monitoring Earth through quantum entanglement. Second, the 1997 quantum teleportation experiment at University of Innsbruck received more than expected. Blueprints for faster-than-light travel were carved directly into the quantum data stream by unknown entities. Third, Google's 2019 quantum computer didn't achieve supremacy alone. It solved impossible problems with help from beings existing outside our space-time dimension. Fourth, the 2008 quantum biology experiments revealed something terrifying. Alien DNA sequences were embedded in quantum coherent cellular processes in every living thing on Earth. Fifth, the 2023 quantum consciousness transfer experiments uncovered the ultimate truth. Human consciousness exists simultaneously across multiple dimensions. We've been unknowingly communicating with our alien counterparts our entire lives. They've been watching, waiting, and guiding us through quantum channels we never knew existed.
What's happening in Mexico right now is being hidden from you, and there's a reason for it. If you don't know what's happening in Mexico City right now, go up to the search bar and just put in Mexico City and find out exactly what's happening, because they're literally suppressing these videos. And why would they be suppressing these videos? Because they don't want it to happen here.
I'm gonna have to type that up, Mexico City on TikTok, and see what happens. See what newsfeed it gives me.
Alright, y'all, we have a serious problem. You know, Elon's always dropping little Easter eggs, right? Listen to this. You watched The Hunger Games and sided with the Resistance. You watched Star Wars and sided with the Resistance. You watched The Matrix and sided with the Resistance. Divergent and sided with the Resistance. V for Vendetta, that's a good one, and you sided with the Resistance, people. When it's fiction, you understand, yet you refuse to see it when it's the reality you're living in. Wild. There's only one little problem, Elon. As Mr. Eric said, needless to say, in none of those movies was the richest man in the world part of the Resistance. Remember when Elon got shafted or whatever and booted out of the little Doge audit thing he was doing for the country? Then he posted this right here. Time to drop a really big truth bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein file. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. In my opinion, everybody's just playing one big game, y'all. Check out Elon's Halloween costume. Look right there. You see the little bull horns coming out and curling? Looks like something else, doesn't it? However, Elon is pushing this pretty hard right here. You need a job for ICE, yada, yada, yada. He's pushing that, obviously, because every 5 seconds, you're seeing it when you're scrolling on there. Still not convinced, huh? Well, check out Elon's mom. You know, her just looking at her, you can kind of get a weird, creepy vibe, but check out all the little hand signals. Oh God, I'm one of them too now. I mean, she just gives that weird, creepy vibe. And why would you just dress up like that just to get attention? It doesn't make any sense with that much money. Speaking of the Epstein files, check this out right here. This is on the little Poly Market or whatever. Will Trump release by December 19th or December 31st? Look, 67% chance, because think about it. With the new year closing in, it's like, oh, let's end the year off with a big bang, and let's start the new year off with a big bang. So I can kind of see it. You know, it's all a show, in my opinion, y'all. And hopefully they won't release nothing like this right here. I mean, look at this. This is a pretty awesome release of the Epstein files. One little section of it. We got Jeffrey Epstein and we got Bill Clinton's name. That gives us so much to work with, don't it? Back to this right here, though. So it just seems to me like Elon just likes playing a game. He likes dropping little posts here and there to get everybody stirred up, and everybody's like, oh, yeah. And then he's just kicked back like, giggling, you know? It's really hard to say at this point, because we can say this and say that, but nobody really truly knows what's going on. All I know is, you like my shirt. I can't really say it because it might take the video down, because it's gotten ridiculous on posting stuff. I mean, it's just like out of control. Anyways, I need y'all's opinion. I need y'all to let me know on this. You know, like if it were you and you were the richest man in the world, would you be like dropping little tweets and playing little games like he does just for fun? I mean, a lot of people probably would, but what do y'all really and truly think about all of this? Do you think, is anybody not a bad guy at this point? There has to be some good guys left, right? Make sure you choose the right one.
The reason that we can't save Gaza and we don't have health care and we don't have free education and life is misery is all for the same reason, right? Everything is connected. We realize that, right? It's all because there's a small class of people, the uber rich, who believe that they should get all of the money and all of the rest of us aren't even people, and that we should just go in a hole somewhere. And like, how can you blame them? I mean, the last few hundred years, you know, their ancestors thought that they could own human beings, and they're literally still living off of the profit of doing that. These people got used to 400 years of free labor, and they still think that it should be free. They think that they should never have to work, and that we should have to work, that we are beasts of burden for them. It's literally what they think. Capitalists and the rich are so stoked for right now because the status quo right now is literally so close to the times of slavery. It's never been closer. We literally have nothing, and we don't even realize it. That's the best part. They literally have us fighting over crumbs while they're eating the...
And the feudalism was ancient back then. Now feudalism is going digital. What do y'all think?
Now look at this.
Pretty much.
Have you heard of the two-way app? The concept is that you can still communicate with your deceased loved ones.
Oh boy.
It's like they're FaceTiming, and the commercial is like she was FaceTiming with her mother that passed. Her new baby. Baby grows up, becomes like an adult, and then he's FaceTiming with his grandmother. And it's her voice, her likeness.
You take the app and you record a video of the person before they pass away. You have them turn to the side. You have them say a few sentences and words. That way the AI can take it and then make their own voice specifically for them. And then you upload that to the app, and then it creates this avatar of your loved one.
I hate that.
And you can have full-on conversations with it.
Their catch line at the top of their website says, "Human connection reimagined in the age of AI."
Not human connection.
It's a robot.
You take them like almost like a personality test with it, and so you have your loved one sit down, they fill out a survey, and like crazy.
It's weird.
We are living in Black Mirror more than ever before.
I know.
Literally. Terrifying.
No matter how weird we think it is, someone's going to use it.
The Nazis went to Antarctica and found this fucking supercomputer. And this supercomputer was I ain't got no light. Here we go. And so this supercomputer was already there under the fucking ice. And it's kind of like that movie Prometheus, where they go find that spaceship and it's like a supercomputer already in there. And so a part of the reason why Admiral Byrd went down there was they made it seem like he was just trying to explore Antarctica, but he was trying to go see what the fuck the Nazis was doing, and he got his ass turned back. If you look at that interview, it looks like he's not really telling the truth about what he saw. Like, you can tell something is like on his heart when he's talking. Like, go look at that interview about Admiral Byrd. And so basically, the Nazis coming to America and South America is what started Operation Paperclip, and it's what started the CIA and the NSA. And so the Central Intelligence Agency is actually like all of the major Hollywood studios. They're actually the CIA, and that's why all this information gets put into these movies. It's sort of like a soft disclosure, sort of like a predictive programming. I don't know, but like, you ever see these movies and it's just like, why the fuck are these secrets in this fucking movie? It's like, that's why the CIA is behind it, and it's not even just like behind it, like they literally are Hollywood. And so where was I? So anyway, I'm trying to be brief. So basically, with Operation Paperclip, that's what started all the MK Ultra tests, and them grabbing people involuntarily, all the missing kids and missing people that were used for MK Ultra. And what they would do is they would experiment with consciousness transfer, where they could transfer your consciousness, and also they could replicate DNA. They could replicate your body. They could replicate your body, put you in another body, train you to be an assassin or fucking anything, and then transfer you, and then wipe your memory and transfer you back into your original body, and you think that you just had a crazy ass dream, and it happens different. It happens different for different people. Like, certain people are like kidnapped and kept on these bases, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe they were like they trained them, transferred their consciousness, trained them, put them back in their original body, put them back into society as some Hollywood actor or artist that just pops up out of nowhere, you never heard of him, or a president or a news anchor or the CEO of a huge multi-billion-dollar company.
Damn.
A lot developing for Social Security, as take a look at the latest headlines with me. Social Security urges Americans to check their mailbox today for the exact details on the new 2026 monthly payments, plus a breakdown of the December Social Security payments. So they're saying check your mailboxes right now in the month of December. Also, Social Security increase. We're hearing it's not going to be that much. It's approximately going to be an extra $56. A lot of people very upset at the cost of living adjustment, the increase for Social Security. But not only that, it's official. The U.S. government confirms adjustments to Medicare and Social Security for 2026 that will be affecting millions of beneficiaries, and we're hearing that this is going to be eating away at that $56 increase. This is going to be impacting lots of Americans. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest, and also, as I mentioned, a warning coming out, Social Security warning issued by Senator as the agency pushes 2026 changes. There's a lot unfolding. You can see all of these articles coming out roughly in the last 24 to 48 hours. And I'm going to get you caught up on the latest so you know exactly what's going on with Social Security. Check those mailboxes. We're going to dive into the warnings coming out. A lot of changes happening right now for Social Security. So I'm going to dive right in. And if you collect retirement, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, any of the fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration, you're going to want to get caught up on the latest.
Make sure to get caught up on that information as soon as possible, y'all. The sooner the better. 2026 is right around the corner. Can't believe it.
Friends, I just went down a huge rabbit hole that is all about the Leviathan, and when I tell you this creature got me scared and shook, I am not playing. In the book of Job, it talks about the Leviathan. It's a large sea creature with an unknown exact identity, right? And there is no human, no tool, no weapon that can kill it. It has armor, lots and lots of armor, breathes fire, the inability of weapons to defeat it. It creates turmoil. It is also out of the question for humans to control this creature, but it needs to be controlled for the creation to continue. But God has control of it and all of the creatures to order the world. Therefore, God's role is more than Job can imagine and more nuanced and simply rewarding righteousness and punishing wickedness. So could the Leviathan be a symbolic of the forces of good and evil? I don't know. But what I do know is that in Job 40, it talks about a behemoth. The behemoth feeds on grass like an ox. What strength it has in its loins, what power in the muscles of its belly. Its tail sways like a cedar, sinews of its thighs are close knit. The bones are tubes of bronze, its limbs like rods of iron. It ranks first among the works of God, yet its master can approach it with his sword. The hills bring it their produce, and all the wild animals play nearby. Under the lotus plant it lies, hidden among the reeds in the marsh. The lotuses conceal it in their shadows. The poplars by the stream surround it. A raging river does not alarm it. It is secure, though the Jordan could surge against its mouth. Can anyone capture it by the eyes and trap it and pierce its nose? What is this behemoth that the Bible talks about in Job 40? So we know that the Leviathan is down by Antarctica, right? So could the behemoth be in Antarctica? Now, remember I said that it has to have lush green lands in order to survive. That's what it needs. But Antarctica is full of ice, right? Well, enter Admiral Richard Byrd. He did an interview on TV in 1956 in which he said that there was land in the South Pole that was about as big as the United States that had not been discovered, and it was full of lush green lands. So here's a part of that interview.
But militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing.
So this interview was done in 1956. Do you want to guess what happened in 1957? Sir Admiral Richard Byrd passed away in his sleep of a heart attack, unexpectedly. And after he did this expedition, in 1959, they started the Antarctic Treaty. It didn't actually come into play until 1961. But after this Antarctic Treaty came into play, no one is allowed in Antarctica to explore or do anything unless you have special clearance. Not only that, in 1958, NASA was made. And what was NASA designed for originally? To explore the ocean. Side note, NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. Just saying. But what was NASA designed for? NASA was originally designed to explore the ocean. And allegedly, they found something in the ocean that scared them, and they stopped exploring the ocean and they started exploring outer space. But if you know anything about the Bible, God created the firmament on the second day, and the firmament is a solid dome that separates the upper waters from the lower waters, and it allows dry land to appear because it separates the waters. And the firmament is what people see when they look up in the sky. It's not outer space. But since it's impenetrable, no one can come in and no one can get out. And that's why they say that outer space is actually in the ocean. Because allegedly, the ocean is the way out of this world. And if you think about it, these UAPs are coming from the ocean. So they're entering our world through the ocean and then coming up through the ocean and letting us see them. Now they say that the Leviathan is moving. And these pictures right here are a comparison to where the Leviathan used to be to where it is now. And it's changing shape. It definitely looks like it is moving. Do you remember last year when they found that blob that started off the coast of Antarctica and nobody could figure out what it was because the ocean's temperature was rising at an astronomical rate and there was a lot of animals that were beaching themselves and unaliving themselves?
Something big happened in Antarctica that caused waves 25 meters high. People are saying that this surfaced and it came from the direction of Antarctica, and now it is larger than the size.
So what could that blob have been? Could that have been the Leviathan moving around? I want to show you guys a clip because I think that this could be the Leviathan, allegedly. What is that massive thing? Like, some people think that it's a sea serpent and some people think that it's the Leviathan, but I don't know what that thing is. It's huge. That thing is massive. Whatever it is, could that be why NASA stopped exploring the oceans? Is that what scared the hell out of them and made them leave the ocean? Because you know only like 5% of the ocean is explored. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I think this is all crazy coincidental and there's a lot to be said that isn't being said. As always, TikTok, this video is for entertainment purposes. It's not to be taken seriously. This is just speculation. This is not true information. This is speculation and not to be taken seriously.
Looks like the Great Awakening, which is really the petrified dragon that we're living on top of, is about to wake up, y'all. For those that are late to the party, if you don't know, and we do in fact live right on top of a petrified ancient dragon. This is all a legend. This is not true. This is all just for entertainment. But rumors are going around that the real true reason as to why we're going at war with Venezuela and such is really to access the weak points of this dragon that's about to wake up. One eyeball is in the Dominican Republic. The other is in Venezuela. Put two and two together and you figure it out. And while all that's happening at the same time, so is the growth of AI. And look where we're at now, y'all. From 2019, fast forward up until now, and look how far AI has gotten. Crazy times we're in, y'all. Well, y'all got to see what I got to see. Giving you another banger. Make sure to comment, like, and share. And smash that subscribe button and press the notification bell so that way you stay notified for the next react. Thanks for tagging along and hanging out with your boy. If you happen to have any ideas for the next react, make sure to drop your comments down below. This is Kazi signing out, giving you another Consciousness TV episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.